Welcome back, everybody. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We're going to be beginning today on turning my 2002 Honda CRV into a Jurassic Park vehicle. For those who haven't seen my channel before, I've had two vehicles previous to this one that I turned into fictional vehicles of some sort. Previous to this vehicle, I had a 2005 GMC Yukon that I turned into an Umbrella Corporation SUV. And previous to the Yukon, I had a black 2005 F-150 that I turned into a Jurassic Park Park Ranger vehicle. When I got this car, I wanted to do something special with it, something that I could have some fun with, make it a little unique in my own way. I don't know how to do car modifications, as in lower a car, lift a car, add anything really mechanically to it, but I do know how to make it something a little bit more fun. So we're going to begin that today. I have decals coming in on Monday. My amazing grandmother, she wanted to be part of this, so she helped me get the decals, and she also got me a special decal for the back window that has the Raptor blue that will be popping out the back window. Now, we have all our supplies here on this table that you see right in front of the car. 2 cans of Majestic Red spray paint. I have 2 others inside if they are needed. I have an old pair of sweatpants that is basically being cut up as we go for rags. I also have a small spray bottle of alcohol, and the reason why I have that is so every area we're going to be painting, I'm going to spray down alcohol and wipe down. It just makes the area a bit cleaner, makes sure the paint will have a little easier time sticking. I have tall kitchen trash bags got from Dollar Tree that will be cut up and used for overspray protection. I have a tape measure, that way I can make sure my stripes will be even length all the way down, because there's going to be 4 stripes on this vehicle. There's going to be 1 red stripe going right here, 1 red stripe in the very back, 1 red stripe on the back door, 1 red stripe back there, and 1 red stripe here. So actually 5 stripes. Other than that, I don't believe I'm doing anything else to this vehicle paint-wise, but that will probably change as time goes on if I see anything else I like. So let's get started. I don't know how well you can see it in the video. Got this first stripe laid out, and now I'm going to start beginning on the numbers. I grabbed my level X-Acto knife. I also grabbed a ruler as well, so that way I can get my numbers situated. I've never done anything like this freehand before, so I'm going to be using my level and everything else to try and make sure that everything will be on center. I apologize for me being shirtless, by the way. It's 10,000 degrees outside currently, and it is too hot to be wearing full clothing, so I'm just wearing a bathing suit while I do this. Plus, if paint gets on me, won't be a big deal. I got the 4 complete so far. You can see where I cut the ends of it. Basically, all I did was I laid out the masking tape roughly the way I wanted it to be. I took my level, went along like this, checked that everything was in fact in line. This one, of course, I couldn't. I just put the angle I thought would look nice. Took my ruler for this top piece, put the level on top of the ruler, figured out exactly where it needed to be. Took my X-Acto knife and went along. And that is how I got this angle straight. Now I'm thinking with this corner here, the 4, I might slice it a little bit just to make it a little more rounded, and maybe cut the ends of these a little bit so it's not as sharp. I'm not sure exactly yet. Still gonna look at a couple more research things for this. Welcome back. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little black dot in the car right there, and let me explain what that is. On the furthermost left point of this number, the very tip of the 4 right here, is exactly 4 inches away from this stripe. Now, funny thing is, I didn't even measure this. I just started laying it out, and it managed to actually be precisely 4 inches, so that's cool. But because this is 4 inches away on this side, I want it to be 4 inches away from this side. So from the very edge of this 3, the very right-handed edge of this 3, to this dot is 4 inches. So the outside of the stripe, well, the inside of the stripe on this side will need to be 4 inches away. To make sure my stripe is at the same angle as this one, I'm going to measure from here out to here and see how far away it actually is from this point to this point. If I can figure out that measurement, then I just transfer it up, transfer it down, and I have my stripe. And for those who are wondering what I'm using, it is an expo marker, because I can just take it right off afterwards. Well, after more anger and frustration than I can even imagine, we've gotten this masked off on this side alone. It has been 3 hours. This has been a nightmare. I hate plastic bags. I hate it. And I hate cheap masking tape. The amount of masking tape and plastic bags I just used to mask this off is criminal. Really, it's criminal. But I'm going to do this side first. then move all of this over to the other side and get that side done, then do the same thing for the back, because I'm not about to try to do all of this just to have that side blow off and then this side do whatever it's doing. So that's this masked off. I'm going to check through all of it, make sure there's no gaps in the paper or bags, and then begin painting. Well, without further ado, I've checked through all the plastic and everything else. Let's begin painting. The worst that can happen, so I'm checking through this as I go too. Worst that can happen is there's a gap and I just have to scrape the paint off, I guess. I don't know. I'm a little nervous because there is a wind pushing that way, but nothing I can do. Try to double check. This is why I put the plastic there. This color is very nice, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just trying to be kind of easy with my painting. There's gonna be multiple coats done to this, so that way I am a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie, because I've never done this kind of thing before, so this is all brand new to me. Like I said, I'm only doing this side first, so anything on the other side will wait and get done after. And I'm actually very proud of myself because that just masked off perfectly, and everything I wanted to be masked off is masked off perfectly. So that worked out very well. I'm just taking a look at the paint in different lights, getting some of these stripes out because I did not do that right at first. But this is the beginning. So I've got 3 coats done so far. I am noticing one issue right up in here. It looks like what happened before with my pickup truck, and it looks like some other kind of paint at some point. Of course, it had to have been white paint or a clear coat of some sort, because there's nothing here. It's not reacting well at all with this paint, and it's all cracking and I don't know how to explain, curdling kind of. It's cracking and separating. That's not going to last, I don't believe, there. So I'll figure something out with that, of course. But other than that, this is looking good so far. Alright, I've done 3 coats to the car, and I don't know what to do. So let's begin undoing this. Worst comes to worst, it didn't turn out good. Best comes to best, it turned out good. So we'll see. I'm very nervous, to be honest with you, because of the fact that I have never in my life painted a vehicle like this before. On this side, so far, there's no overspray, which is really good. Good thing to know. There's a little overspray there, but there's not a lot of bleed, which means the paint didn't seep through a lot. On the top piece there, it did a little bit, but not a whole lot, so that is good. Now this is the part here that I'm hoping turned out good. A little bit of overspray there. Alright, that stripe there, piece there, seems like it turned out pretty good. This little bit overspray I can probably get off with a, actually just like that. Okay. Now this is the part over here that I'm a little nervous about, because of the fact that I've never in my life done this. I'm trying not to rip this bag either, because I need this bag for the side. No overspray got onto this really, other than a couple little spots. Now this is where I need to be careful. I just don't want to rip it off, so that way it doesn't just take the paint with it. I'm not very happy with this masking tape, to be honest with you, because this masking tape honestly did not do the job good. Honestly. This masking tape has not held up as good as it should have. On top of that, there's a lot of spots where the paint seeps underneath the masking tape, even though I pressed it down as much as you can possibly press it down. But that is actually a decent looking stripe, I'm not gonna lie. Let's see how my little numbers came out. I'm trying to figure out how to get this masking tape off without taking paint with it. Alright, so these numbers, I mean, I can't expect a whole lot from them because they are homemade. It's not like it's a stencil or anything professionally done. But so far, it seems like it came out pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, this paint, I think I pulled my masking tape off a little too early, possibly because of the fact that like half the paint has bled through the masking tape. On some spots the paint went through the masking tape and adhesive itself, which of course it's not supposed to do. Alright, yeah, that's gonna have to be taken off. But for the most part, this masking tape has not done the greatest. There is a lot of bleed. It's not as sharp as I want it to be. So that is a bit disappointing. But what can you do? Well, there's my number 43. Alright, so I mean, from a distance, it does not look horrible, but if you go right up to it, you'll notice all the differences. So I got this half of the car complete and drying currently. I'm a little nervous about this one because none of the tape for some reason is willing to work. All this tape here, it peeled back on that second layer. So I'm hoping that first layer did better than on the other side. And my biggest issue I ran into is back here. I started taping off for the second stripe, and as soon as I started doing that back window, I ran out of tape and went to grab my other roll, only to realize that roll is gone too. So all of those bags and tape I just put on there, I just wasted, because as soon as I take them off, those bags are cheap Dollar Tree bags, they're gonna shred. That's what's been happening. That's why I haven't been able to reuse any of these bags. It's because they're gonna shred. But either way, this side's done. I got my front side done at least. I'll probably go to town, go to Dollar Tree, get more bags and tape and finish this another day. But I got this part done at least. I'm letting this dry a little bit more. We'll take it all apart and then you can see. Sorry for the wind, but this side did come out fairly good. I don't understand how that happened, because that is literally underneath a piece of tape. The tape is directly on top of that line, so I'm not sure if there was a slit in tape or what happened, but a little bit of alcohol should be able to get that off. I'm just working on getting the rest of this little pieces off here. There's a lot of bleed, a lot of bleed. I learned my lesson. If you're gonna do this, don't buy cheap tape. The cheap tape you can use for like holding the bags together maybe, but don't use cheap tape to line this, because there's so much paint bleed and it just made it look really bad. Worse than, you know, I anticipated. That's the part I hate, is trying to get this off. Now I'm fairly happy with the way I cut these numbers. If there wasn't paint bleed the way there is, I think they would have turned out very nice. But unfortunately, paint bleed caused them to not come out as clean as I wanted. Now normally for Jurassic Park the numbers would be blockier, and I was double checking through the stuff I had done and realized that I should have made them a little bit blockier, but it is what it is. You know, at the end of the day, I can't really go back and change that yet, unless I go through and take white paint and stencils and everything else. But for now, honestly, I'm happy with that. A little bit small, but it's good.